But let me just show you one small part of the story called The Night We Buried Bibles. This was written in 1978. The secret police had warned me several times during interrogations, if we catch you with Bibles, even a few, we will put you in chains. She said, I had been a contact for Bible smugglers for years. God had protected me. I had the courage and willingness to die for the Lord. This young woman and a group of her friends, they were willing to die, to bring the Bible into her country, to give to the people, her friends and her family, who wanted the Word of God more than anything else. Why? Why is the Bible so important to so many people in the world? We read about people in our world today that are imprisoned, that are tortured, that are killed because they love the Bible. I know why. And I want to tell you a story about our family. You see, I believe that God blessed our family so that we can now come and share this blessing with you. Life was very difficult for us. You know that I had 2 sons, married to a Japanese Canadian. We lived in Richmond. Life was very difficult for us at one time. You see, my 2 sons, they were successful. I wanted successful sons, and they were. They did very well in school. They were good athletes. What was their favorite sport? Yes, Peter knows that for Canadians, hockey is a very important sport. And so my children decided that they would study very hard and they would practice very hard, and then one day they would get a scholarship to a good university in the States and play hockey. For my youngest son, Bryce, that was his dream. And he worked very hard towards this dream, and he grew closer and closer to grasping his dream. And then one day, that changed. He was playing hockey, and another player came to him and hit him. And Bryce fell to the ice, and when he got up, he had a terrible headache. He couldn't remember what happened, and he went to the bench. And we took him to the doctor, and we found out that his brain had been injured in this hit on the ice. But we thought, no problem, he will heal, and he will continue to play hockey and continue to work hard in school and then reach his dream. But you see, the doctor told Bryce that he could never play hockey again. Now, I know some of us here, we think, that doesn't matter. But for my son, the most important thing to him in this world was this dream, to play hockey. And in a moment, the dream was taken away. And as a young man, he was very angry. He was angry with the doctor, he was angry with me, and he was angry with my husband. He was angry with the world. He was very difficult to live with. I needed help. I didn't know what to do. I went to the library and I found this book called When Life Hurts. When life hurts. Why do bad things happen to good people? Why is there suffering in this world? I was looking for this answer as his mother. Things got worse in our family because each day Bryce grew darker and darker. He hated the world. He hated life. And he told me that he wanted to kill himself. He changed. There was no light in his life. There was no hope in his life. He was a different child. And my husband and I, we couldn't help him. The only thing that he wanted was to play hockey, and that was impossible. And so each day I would ask Bryce, "How are you?" I would ask him this question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel? 10 is the happiest you've been, and 1 is the saddest you've been. Where are you today? And he would say, 1. 1. How do I help him? He told me that he wanted to kill himself, and he thought about killing himself every day, and he made plans to kill himself. And there were times I would find him in our garage, and he'd be so angry at the world, that he would hit the boxing bag we had, and he'd hit it for so long and so hard that his hands and the skin would cut, and there would be blood spattered everywhere on the wall. You see, I knew that Bryce wanted to kill himself, and I knew that one day he would be dead. I didn't know what to do. My husband didn't know what to do. Oh, we were smart people. Oh, we were very smart people. We had all the answers about business, all the answers about psychology. We were very, very wise, but how can we give hope to our son? How can we give a future to our son? Bryce looked for answers too. He picked up my book and he opened it, and he tried to read it. You see, his brain was injured, and so he couldn't read. He would read one sentence and then forget what he read and try again. He was an A student who began to fail in school. He used to be very good at mathematics, but then he couldn't even do the simplest problems. His life fell apart in one moment. Yet, he picked up this book and he quickly saw one word, J-O-B. J-O-B, job. Job. What is job? He wanted to know what is job. He looked for answers. You see, we were Buddhists at the time. And he went to the Buddhist temple and he asked senseis there to help him to understand why bad things happen to good people. How can he find hope? How can he have a future again? And the senseis were very kind, but they could not give him the answers he needed. And so then he went to the library to look for more books. He read all of the Eastern mysticisms and yet could not understand them because he would read and then forget and read and then forget. So there was no answer in Confucianism, there was no answer in Hinduism, there was no answer in Buddhism, there was no answer in Tao. He kept looking and then he remembered job, J-O-B, job, what is that? He talked to a friend, and the friend, he went to a Catholic private school. He had some education in the Bible. And so he gave Bryce a Bible and said, It's not Job, Bryce, it's Job. It's in here. So he passed the Bible to Bryce. And Bryce, so hungry for an answer, he opened up. Job. And he began to read. But the most amazing thing happened, and listen to me closely. Bryce could not read any other book without forgetting. But the Holy Bible, he began to read. And he remembered every word. It was a miracle for him. It was as though the words passed his damaged brain and went into his heart, and he could remember all of it. And he tells me that he went from Job, and then he went to the Psalms, as though something was leading him through this book. And he began to read the Psalms. And you can hear my son's voice. Only you, Lord, are my mighty rock. Don't refuse to help me when I pray. If you don't answer me, I will soon be dead. Please listen to my prayer and my cry for help as I lift my hands towards your holy temple. He reads the words of David, and he remembers them. Things did not change for Bryce right away. He read the book of John. And he read about the life, the death, the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And then one day, he tells the story that he lived a life in darkness, in a pit. And maybe some of you out there understand. Maybe you are in a deep pit of darkness with no hope and no light. And he tells a story that he was having his shower and feeling absolutely hopeless and so sad that he got down on his knees and he cried out the words of David. If you are there, God, then help me because I need help now. And he tells us that the shower filled with light and he was healed. You see, that's why I'm here now. I'm here now because God saved my son. You see, that's why my stomach is sick when I read the words of God and he tells me that he sent his son to die for my son and for me. You see, Bryce was healed. I was healed. My husband was healed. My son was healed. Our family was healed. Bryce knows that this is life. This is life. Why is the Bible so important to our family? Because it's life. It brings life. That's why. It's holy. It's holy. It's set apart. It's different. It's above all books. That's why it is so popular. You see, not just me, not just my family, but everyone in the world, day by day, grows to know the truth. And they want the Word of God, the Holy Bible. It is the world's biggest selling book. You won't see that when you go into the bookstore and you ask for the top 10 books. You won't see the Holy Bible on that list, but it is number one, always.